Hello from sunny St. Augustine, Florida. We just got through building 2 more Gothic arch buildings. I thought I perhaps would show you a little bit of what we did here. I've been building as a contractor for over 40 years, and this is by far the most efficient construction and technique we've come across yet. The Gothic arch, which you can find on the internet on how to draw the shape of the arch. Basically, the buildings are 75% of the width and height. First one we built here was 24 feet wide, and it's 18 feet to the peak. That was too large for what we wanted to do, so we dropped back to a 20 foot wide, and we're 14 feet 6 inches to the peak. So let's look at the big one here. See how straight this wall is here? That's because I built the ribs much better than I did on the other two. We took 1x4 pressure treated, bent them on the jig, 4x4 blocks spaced appropriately, and in this one we put a couple of strong backs running laterally. Probably could have used more. We put a 2x4 on the bottom plate, tap conned it in, and embedded hurricane straps, which we then nailed to the inner 1x4. It's a nice high peak, 18 feet. You can put a loft in here. You can make a cabin out of it. Now, keeping in mind that the ribs are 48 inches on center. So you can make this building as long as you want. You can keep adding ribs. You can make it 100 feet long. Just got to buy longer metal or 2 pieces of metal. So we framed it in. We ran the stiff backs. This one came out very nicely. 4 people put this up in a day. Another day built the back wall, and I just used some non-vented vinyl soffit material. We ran a double 1x4 on the ends here so you wouldn't cut yourself. That worked out well. Now we did these, just completed today. You can certainly see the difference in quality. So I'm gonna try to develop a rib that we use a 16-foot 1x4. These were like 16 feet and then a 22-inch piece. And the pieces are kind of a problem putting them together and keeping it nice and smooth. This wall over here is by far the worst. We tried to straighten it out, didn't do a really good job. You can see it's kind of wavy. Don't like it, but for my purposes, this one's okay. I'm not gonna take it apart. These ribs I made with wood I cut on my little sawmill. Very poorly constructed ribs. That being said, with the stiff backs in the metal, this building will be perfectly sufficient for storing lumber and construction materials. You can also see that we missed at the peak, because when you start up each side, you've got to be very careful about placing it. So we did this one the other day. Now we came back and put the roof on this one today, and I took my builder's level and I shot each end on both sides, and we put a screw at the top edge of the metal so we could push the metal up against to make sure we got it just right. Did the same overhang, and look how this one came out. This one came out perfect. Might be an inch off. We're also more careful about not leaving such an overlap on the bottom. Here we went about 3/4 to an inch, and that also got the metal to meet much better up at the top for our 14-inch ridge vent. So this one came out a lot better. We ran 3 stiff backs on each side. And this one has almost no wave to it. So the side walls and roof are all one piece. We still got to put our 1x4s on the front. You can build one of these ribs on a jig in about 20 minutes. If I got the jig adjusted so that I could use 16-foot 1x4s and not have to piece them, it'd go much faster. They'd be way more uniform, and I still think we'd have plenty of room inside. That's my next job, is to modify my jig. And the metal, it's about $1,000 worth of metal, 26 gauge, 9-inch on center galvalume, and again, 4 foot on center. Very, very economical. Hope you get something out of this, because I'm going to be building more of these. Over and out.